sorry. Of course, when we start talking about failure, start talking about adversity, start talking about shortcomings, that's when, hey girl, hey, that's when the devil just show his face. Hey Heather, hey Kelly, we are definitely a minute or 10 running a little behind, but that's just the devil. We will not allow the devil to come up and through here. We talking about walking in authority today, y'all. And seeing
this situation.
Yep. And seeing that we are talking about walking in authority, the devil just, want to come in and try to stick his ugly head in, but he don't know. My God's greater.
Yeah.
My God is mightier.
Yeah.
My God is powerful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we ain't finna, let him still lit right there. I want to welcome everybody in, all of my returning guests, all of my new guests. I'm just so happy to see you guys. I am behind the camera right now, but I'm trying to get it all together. So make sure that you guys can see everything. We have a couple of new things going, and we'll talk to you guys about that in a few minutes. We're working on getting our Facebook people in here as well. So give us a second, and we'll get started. Woo. Yup, he can't stop. That's right. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm here. I'm sorry. Just as I mentioned, the devil he's trying to do what he do. Trying to be somebody. But we ain't gonna allow that to happen. So, we are getting everything set up. I'm gonna go ahead and start working on my shout outs for people that are coming in. I saw a few people actually. I saw Heather came in. I saw one of our new talkers who actually created this beautiful mug for me by way of my sister all the way from Florida, the Orange State. I want to welcome you in. I see Ken has come in. I see Nitra has come in. I see that Vetra has come in. Hey, everybody. I'm just so excited to be, back.
Yeah.
We took a little hiatus, and now we are back and better than ever. If you notice, there are a few differences in the quality of the sound and the picture as well. So we've been working hard to get some things going to make sure that things are in place. All right. So for some reason, Facebook is acting up, but we're going to continue to try to get everything squared away with them. It's so crazy. I never link my personal Facebook page to my business page, and that is just something that I hardly ever do. But today I got on there and I was like, I want to let y'all know, it's 2020. I'm stepping out there. I'm letting everybody know what I'm doing because I want everybody to be able to have the opportunity to be a part of this great work that is within me and within my team. And not Facebook just acting up, but it's all right. We'll get back to that as well. So for those of you that are here for the very first time, hey Bianca, my name is Tiffany. I am a social worker by trade and a community activist at heart. I've worked in the social services industry for a very long time. We are in a new decade, so it's far beyond this past decade. And in that, I have just come to see and find myself with so much more to give. And with that, I created this platform backed by my team, by my best friend. This is Tiff Talks, and it's an open dialogue platform where we talk about hot topics that are impacting our community, and also taboos that we're talking about at the kitchen table, that we're talking about at the beauty shop, in the barbershop, and the water fountain that needs to be discussed in an open forum so that we'll keep talking and go beyond those things. So that's why this platform, Tiff Talks, was created. And today we are starting our second season. was just so milestone for it to be on the very first Sunday of this 2020 year and this new decade, which has been coined, if you guys aren't aware, as Victory Sunday.
Yes.
So in Victory Sunday, we are going to be victorious. Yes. With this new season of Tiff Talks. So we're going to go ahead and get started because we are running a little bit behind. And I will allow this young lady to my left to introduce herself as she would like.
Hey y'all, we back again.
Yes.
Yes. And I am Kenshay Saxton. I am a talker partner for Tiff Talks. And I'm just excited that we get an opportunity to do it again.
Yes.
We have so much to talk about.
Yes.
Not just with this show, but the coming lives and everything that we have planned for you guys.
Yes.
So y'all stay tuned and just pay attention and be patient with us.
Yes. So because this is an open forum, we really encourage community and talker engagement and audience engagement. So do not be silent on this platform. We want you guys to comment in the section below. We want you guys to share with us your own insight, ask any questions that you have as well. Make sure that as you're coming in, you're dropping where you are from. We have a large fan audience.
Yes.
So we not only have people that are here in the Houston and Pearland area, but we also have people that are out of state and out of the city. So I want to make sure that you guys are in the comment section saying where you're from. And if you have any community engagement that you want us to shout out, be sure that you include that in the comment section below as well. So today, rightfully so, we've been going kind of back and forth on how we wanted to open the show.
Right.
Because 2019 came with its own share of adversity, its own share of shortcomings, its own share of failures.
Correct.
And myself and Kenshay, we talk about failure all the time. All the time. We talk about it amongst ourselves and amongst our peer group because, you know, there's a vulnerability when it comes to failure.
Correct.
And when it comes to discussing failure. But me personally, I feel that when it comes to your own life and your own narrative, you write that narrative.
Correct.
You have the control of if you will be a failure or if you will be victorious. And in that, because we as humans are allowed that responsibility of being able to write our own narrative, I feel that because I can tell my own story, whether it be failure to me, a shortcoming to another, or a stepping stone to the next person, that's my duty to be able to share that.
Correct.
So today we are going to be talking about overcoming failures and walking in authority. And that was the best way that we can start this season 2 off. So before we get too deep into the conversation, I think it's important that we actually define what authority is. Mm-hmm. And so that we'll be clear that we have a definition to work off on. So when just doing my own research and researching the definition of authority, authority is the power to determine, the right to control, command, or have the command over, the right to delegate, to give authority, a person or bodies of person whom authority is invested into. So Shay, I know you did your own research also. So what definition of authority did you find?
Pretty much it was similar, but authority is a form of control, a form of leadership. In many cases, it speaks a lot on power.
Yeah.
So again, like you said, we as the people, we write our own narrative.
Yeah.
So I have the control. I am in leadership.
Yes.
And I have the power to maintain that authority.
Right. And I agree with it. And I kind of also looked into some synonyms as it relates to authority as well.
Okay.
And in that, I just kind of coined it myself as a power word, as a power statement. Because every definition that I came across has something to do with power.
Correct.
So the synonyms that I came across was being able to be a mastery, a powerhouse, strength, supremacy, prestige, force, rule, command, and dominate. And being that all of those words too kind of tie into power, I wanted to make sure that we understand that we hold the power.
Correct.
Of our own narrative,
correct,
of our own stuff being, of our own story and our storyline.
Correct.
So with that, I want to be clear that in order to walk into authority is not something that happens overnight.
Correct.
I truly believe that as I have developed as a person, as I have overcome some things, I've established authority within myself.
Correct.
And I feel that I'm one that truly believes that I'm constantly evolving. I'm evolving through things I learn through things I walk through things I go through at different stages in my life. And I think we kind of talked about this in one of the series during the first season of Tiff Talks about how at different stages in your life, your accountability is different. What you need out of life is different. What you seek out of life is different depending on what stage in life you are and what you're going through. So for me, as I have evolved, my authority has evolved. And how I've tapped into that authority has evolved as well. So Shay, for me, well, from your standpoint, what are your thoughts about how you have developed authority?
I would say developing authority is not derived overnight. So I completely agree with that. But at the same time, it's a journey. It's a process. So I go through things in life, so therefore I had to accomplish something. I had to succeed at something. And I had to have that know-it-all under my belt to really understand my own authority. So I can't have authority within myself and not have it out there. So if I have my authority, I'm walking in my authority.
That's true.
I totally agree. It's a process.
And you know what? We all talk about like trusting the process and going with the process and being a part of the process. But nobody ever talks about the process.
Right.
And within that process, and we can say that from this first year of podcasting, we've had some highs. I mean,
but we've had some lows.
But we've had some lows.
Right.
Like, I can remember, and I don't know if you guys, for those of you that are new to our Tiff Talks host page, recently I posted the stats from our 2019. And in a single episode, we had over 300 views.
Wow.
And that was like, you know, sitting down and going back, I was like, man, really?
Yes.
Within an entire year, we posted over 800 minutes of footage, and all of our footage has been live. You know, so live footage, 800 plus minutes. But I can also remember when we lost footage. And we were like devastated on having lost a good number from our very first series when we talked about gun violence. We lost 2 full episodes of footage, and we were both like heartbroken. Heartbroken, because that was footage that we had purpose to repurpose. And in losing that footage, it just put us at a point where we knew what we needed to do moving forward. We were better at planning and preparing, even though there are hiccups. I mean, it was hiccups today, but planning and preparing for how we wanted to move forward. So that was the process. That was a failure that we went through, or a shortcoming that we experienced that we built up on. And I think it's important when you talk about the process or trusting the process that you talk about what it means to be in the process.
And what it took to get there and what it took to get through. Because if we don't talk about those failures and if we don't talk about those shortcomings, then at the end of the day, it's like, oh, well, it was easy to do such and such, and I'm going to try that. But my failure would be even more devastating if my sister didn't come along, who's already been through this process, come along and say, hey, baby, it ain't that easy. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's all about sharing those failures. I mean, not being afraid to share those failures, because what you're experiencing, somebody else could be experiencing the same thing. So therefore, there go your accountability partner. There go your become your best friend. So at the end of the day, we need to, as the people, talk about those failures, talk about what it takes to get there, because it ain't easy. So at the end of the day, if failure have not knocked on your door, best believe it has your address. It does. And it will be there. And life is trial and error. So we go through things to get over things. So that's what I look at.
And I mean, when you are going through things, it's important that you understand those things. Even if you have a shortcoming,
correct.
Even if you have a failure, that when you do pick up the pieces, you picking up the pieces from a place that you've been, so you know how to move forward.
Correct.
So it's not like you starting all the way over, but you starting at a starting point that you know how to move forward with. Okay. So I see a couple people that has come in. One of our past guests actually came in. I want to do a couple of shout outs really quick. I see, and I don't want to brutalize your name, your rap name, but I see that the Red Tat Texas has come in. I want to make sure that I shout you out. We'll be reaching out to you really soon for an upcoming event that we have. I see that Janasia's mommy has come in. Hey, Jess, thank you for coming in. I see my sister Tasha has come in. Nice to see you coming in all the way from Florida. Yes. So thank you guys for coming in. Make sure that as you are coming in, you are dropping where you are from, and that you also join the conversation by including in the comment section below what walking in authority means to you. All right. So we did just touch a little bit on the being able to build up on shortcomings. And when you say build up on shortcomings, build up on failure, do you truly feel that we are able to build in a stepping stone or as stepping blocks upon failure, upon adversity, upon shortcomings?
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, my authority comes from things I've been through. Lessons that I've learned, things that I've had to accomplish or get over. It all helped me build my control, per se, the power I can have, the leadership that I can carry on because I know my worth.
Right.
And so those bring up old topics that we talked about, but it all ties in together. Yeah. So I agree.
I think in this day and age, sadly enough, we live in a time where it's all about perfection. You know?
Right.
Where everything is either made out to be perfect or there's a desire to be presented as perfect. I think when it comes down to if I need it to be or if I want to be transparent, when it comes down to being imperfect, I've learned that there is perfection in being imperfect. Not only because there's, it's a form of the word or it derives from the word perfect, but I feel that it's discovered or I've found my own strength and my vulnerability when I have been imperfect. When I have had those times where I needed to be able to sit and be able to understand and be able to gain clarity about where I went wrong or my shortcoming or my failure. So I feel that oftentimes if people would understand that it's okay to not be okay.
Right.
That it's okay to have a moment of vulnerability. That it's okay to sit with yourself. That it's okay to be able to gain some clarity from yourself. Then we'll get away from this thought that everything has to be perfect.
Right.
And be okay with at sometimes being imperfect.
Right.
So for me, I've come to learn when I've experienced failure or shortcoming, these things have been things that really, truly, figuratively, literally taken my breath away. Like we was talking about losing that footage. It was a failure for us or a shortcoming from us that really we had to step back for a minute.
Right.
It took our breath away. We had to refocus. We had to come down to a point where we really kind of think about, okay, how are we going to move forward so this doesn't happen again? You know? And when it comes from learning from those adversities or those shortcomings or those failures, what do you feel that you personally have learned?
I've learned that failure is not negative. I've learned that some lessons that I've learned. So relationships, some just ain't for me. Situationships, some just ain't for me. But at the end of the day, when I fail, it's not for me to stay there.
Yeah.
So my failure only helps me to grind more.
Yeah.
And get to where I'm destined to be. Because
Right.
if I'm stuck with where that failure is, then I can't prosper. So with that being said, if I fail, I'm getting back up and I'm gonna grind 10 times harder.
Right. Me personally, moving from failure to authority, I have learned that faith and fear cannot coexist. I've learned that they are two very contrasting entities, and that I have to choose. I mean, with this podcast, with this here, with my own personal life, with marriage, with being a parent, with being a woman, it comes with its own fears.
It does.
But I can't truly be vested in those things if I'm living out of fear, you know? And I'm not here to say that you won't ever have fear in life, or you won't ever have failure or shortcomings in life, but I know that I can't live there. I have to choose, or I have to even let that fear fuel that authority. I have to let that fear, let that failure, let that shortcoming fuel my next level. What I've also learned is that, and this is going back to the Bible, life and death lies in the power of your own tongue. Like, seriously. And my husband, for one, gets on me all the time about this when it comes down to really kind of just narrowing my focus. Because I generally have a lot of things going on at one time, and I juggle a lot. Right. And sometimes that can become overwhelming. And he's quick to come to me and he'll say, Tiffany, you need to narrow your focus. You know, you need to focus on one situation, speak life into that situation, so that you can do what you do. Yeah, you can watch it manifest and do what you need to do in this situation, and be able to be prosperous, be able to excel in this. So for me, I always plan for what I prepare for. So going into this 2020, I started planning my goals in October of 2019. And that's because I wanted to be prepared for the seeds that I would reap, the benefits that I would reap in this 2020. I was really over 2019 in October because I just had so much going on. So I started working on my vision board. I started working on my authority. I started writing down the things that I wanted to see, speaking the things that I wanted to see in 2020 and 2019, so that I can be prepared for it, so that I can watch it manifest. It's important that you talk, or that you have your faith and you walk in your faith as if they're already there. I've been telling my husband I want a new house. I want a new house with a whole office. So I'm speaking that life into that, where I can say, where I oftentimes find myself in my next house. So, you know, it's out there. I'm speaking it into existence to know that it's already planned and prepared for. And that's what I feel that I have learned walking in my authority, to speak into existence, to articulate what I anticipate. You know what I'm saying? So those are things that I have personally learned as well. Another thing that I feel that it comes down to when you're walking in authority, we talked about this a little bit, that you have to set your intentions. And that your intentions are clear. And that while you're walking in authority, while you're transitioning from failure to authority, that you take into account that in the thick of those things, that you realize that there's a lesson to be learned. When you seek clarity, it's important that you seek clarity in where you are. There's a lesson, and as hard as this is to digest, there's a lesson in every situation, every situationship, in every relationship, in every shortcoming, in every failure. There is a lesson. So if we can take the opportunity to truly sit with that and say, okay, what is the lesson that I need to learn in this? Then it will help you to seek and see a clearer picture. I also believe that it's funny in life, and I've had this to happen to me a lot in my professional life, that when there's a lesson for me to learn, I don't move past that lesson until I've learned it. So oftentimes I can remember I'm very passionate about my career, about my profession, about how I go after my profession. And I say it all the time as a reminder to myself and as a reminder just in general. I worked very hard to get to where I am in my career. It's not nothing that happened overnight. And in that, I have been clear that there's been some things that I kind of took personally when things didn't necessarily go my way, you know? And in taking things personally, I had to seek clarity. And in that clarity, I had to relearn a couple of lessons over and over again about interacting with people, about interpersonal skills. As personal as a person that I am, I had to relearn some impersonable skills of how to interact with people that may not be on your side or that you may have difficulty with. And that's something that I have come to learn, that when you are in the process of things, you have to, if you don't get the lesson the first time, the Lord, the universe, whatever, whatnot, life will make you or put you in a position where you continue to have to relearn those things.
I totally agree. Because if you don't learn from it, then not necessarily a waste, but you'll be there. You're stagnated until you learn what you needed to learn from this failure. Because if not, it's going to continue to happen. That continuous cycle. So learn from your failures only to make your future even better. So going forward, that's where we all need to learn that you have to overcome that failure. So learn your lesson from that failure so it won't happen again.
Grow through what you go through. Grow through what you go through. That's the way that I heard it. That's definitely the way that I heard it. And I think we have a couple of new people coming in. I want to shout those people out as well. So I see Larry has come in. Hey Larry, thank you for joining us. For those of you that have commented in the section below, please be sure that you're also dropping your comments on what walking in authority means to you as well. So to kind of transition to the authority piece, what would you say, or how would you say that you've sought out or attained authority in your own life?
Overcoming my failures, overcoming my shortcomings. I can recall a song, I'm not going to sing it because that ain't for me. But Donnie McClurkin said, walking in authority, it's a process, it's a journey. Living life without apology. Your sense of authority gives you the confidence to live life without apology. Your authority is yours. So with that being said, it's not wrong there, I belong here. Knowing whose you are and who you are. I know I say that a lot because a lot of us need to understand that whose we are make who we are. So knowing that I am a child of God, then I can do what I need to do and live according to His plan, to His will, and then everything else will fall in place. So seeking my authority comes from my faith, overcoming failure. And learning from my shortcomings, getting those lessons that's needed to be learned.
I tend to do a lot of reading in my post-school life, and a book that I read was the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And if you have not read it, you should definitely read it.
It's on Kindle.
It's on Kindle. It's on YouTube. You can listen to it on YouTube. And this is a book that I oftentimes go back to in my professional life because it really talks about not only tapping into your power, but how to sustain your own power and being able to utilize your strength and your power in practical day-to-day interactions, whether it be with family, whether it be with friends, whether it be on the job, at work. And this book, believe it or not, has been read and recommended by a number of rappers, has also been mentioned in a number of different rap lyrics. It was actually a part of a college up north first year students reading. It was required that these students read this book as a part of their study so that they could learn the power of, the power of your own inner strength. It was also in the prisons at one time, and then it was banned from the prisons because for whatever reasons, which I'm sure that you guys can kind of foresee as well. But this book has so much power, and even if you don't read the entire book, if you just Google the 48 laws and read the laws itself, it would definitely be beneficial to you because it's something that I read and definitely go back to time and time again as well. So when we talk about authority as relates to our own inner household and our own inner family. From experience, in majority of households, you oftentimes see the religion kind of supersede practical practices when it comes to addressing shortcomings. And even in the Old and the New Testament, it talks about being able to dig deeper, being able to get to a point where what I believe we all should be a student. I never stop learning, and I think the important piece as you walk in authority is to be able to always be a student, be able to obtain the lesson, be able to always be at a point where you can be held accountable for those lessons that you've learned as well. On this platform, you'll see a lot where we talk about accountability, and that is because we hold each other accountable. We are each other's accountability partners, and that is because in life you need those things. When you start to walk into authority, this walk isn't something that you can do alone. Because even in walking in authority, you'll still have those times where you feel weak, and you'll need someone to remind you that even in weakness you are strong if you take the time to seek the lesson in it all. So for this season premiere, we definitely wanted to make sure that we give an encouraging word, but also be practical in that. And I think we have done that today. I think what the takeaway that I would like for our audience to have today is to be able to understand that you write your own story, and your choosing is to be victorious or to not be victorious.
But that's on you.
And you have to be sure that you take the accountability in that. And you have to be sure that you're a student of that lesson that you want to learn as well. What would be the takeaway for you today?
Having authority, again, is a process. It's a journey. And you build your authority over time. You have to, the things you go through, like you said, in order to grow through something, you go through something, or go through something, you grow, whatever she said.
You have to grow through what you go through.
You have to grow through what you go through.
We're going to put it on a t-shirt so she can remember it.
Yeah, because that's what it is. But yes, that's my take from that. It's a journey. It's a process. With life, period. There are failures. And again, I keep saying we as people, we need to talk about failure because I totally, it hurts me that my brother is hurting, or my sister is hurting.
That's that accountability.
That accountability.
Yeah.
But if they're going through something that somebody else has went through or that I have went through, I would like to share that. And all failure is not negative. No failure is negative because you learn something either way. Either you're going to get up and do what you need to do, or you're just going to be there, stagnated. But again, that's on you. So you are the narrative of your story. Walk in it.
Yeah, that's good. That is good. That's good. So that kind of wraps up the commentary that we have for today. We definitely want to apologize for being able to start a little bit late, and that you stayed around and rocked with us for this time, because it was a challenge getting out today. The devil was busy, but he did not succeed. In this upcoming season, it is so much good that has gone into this season. Shay and I have already gone over the topics that we're going to be discussing this season, this first quarter of the season. We have two very big events that we're going to be putting on, one in the spring and then another in the winter, that is going to be awesome. The spring event will be, there'll be more details about that really soon, and we'll be sure to keep you guys up to date with all of that. On this platform, we are here bi-weekly Sundays at 4 p.m. And the next topic that we'll be discussing on our next show will be boundaries. So this first quarter of the year, we're definitely going to be building up on our topics and our subtopics by today, talking about walking in authority. And on our next show for the month of January, we'll be talking about boundaries and setting healthy boundaries, which is something we can all get a crash course in once again. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I want to shout out Blings and Things 0614 for my beautiful mug, and we look forward to doing much more business with you during this year for our Tiff Talks set. We appreciate you guys. Make sure that you like, share, and comment in the section below, and that you also stay tuned to our page, our host page here on Facebook, and also our host page on Instagram, but also our host page on Facebook at J. Kenco Marketing. You guys have a good Sunday. Did it stop? Did it stop? Did it stop?